this sound we're hearing? Welcome to the Way of the Spiritual Path. This is a show for understanding what is the way. The way of the spiritual path can show up in many, many ways. Adnan Sarhan is a Sufi master. He is visiting Atlanta, and we have the good fortune of having him here on the show. The way of the spiritual path shows up in many ways, many traditions, and this is an ancient Sufi tradition that he's going to be sharing with us. Adnan has been doing this since he's been around 5 years old, so you can see that's been quite some time. Adnan, you're going to start the show by playing the drums for us for about 20 minutes. It's going to be a meditation. Can you explain what the drums are?
The drum is a rhythm. It coincides with the rhythm of the heart. And because of that, people like the drumming all over the world. They like to listen to it because it's a part of their body action and movement, and all the organs, and mainly the heart, the beat of the heart, it goes with the drum. So I will do some rhythm, and you could relax and enjoy the rhythm.
So this rhythm is not traditional. There's not a regular beat to it. It's almost like jazz where there's a lot of irregularity. And
there is no limit to the rhythm, how much you could create, and very effective on the mind, on the psychic, on the emotion, on the body, all affected by it, and bring a power of healing when people listen to the drum.
I notice my mind can't follow, that it's looking for a rhythm and it can't find one, so somehow my mind disappears.
Exactly, that's the idea behind it, to control the mind through the rhythm and get rid of any problem in the physical and the mind, and people feel much elevated and much better.
Okay, so everybody sit back and relax, lay down.
That is a rhythm that affects the mind and put the place in a state of meditation. And they become extremely relaxed and gentle, and their behavior change, whatever I want to do. I teach the drumming in my summer camp for all the people, and they enjoy it completely. And they go all day long drumming. Yeah.
I kind of can't talk right now. Thank you. You are going on tour. You live on tour.
Yeah.
You spend most of the
I'll
year
be
on tour.
this coming week in Puerto Rico, 2 weeks, and then I go to Florida 1 week, and then I go to Texas, Dallas, and Houston, then California, then in New York, then London, and Spain, and the rest of Europe,
So
till
you
the summer.
till the
I'll be
summer,
there.
and then Adnan has a wonderful camp in Albuquerque. No, in
South of Albuquerque.
south of Albuquerque in New
In-
Mexico.
yeah.
How many acres is it?
40 acre, surrounded by 250 square mile of national forest.
So we're out in nature, to say the least.
Rigid mountain, nobody there.
Nobody's there, no one around. There's some wild animals that kind of pass
Yeah,
through,
animals there,
Yeah.
gazelles and many other.
and it's
Deers.
it's a very humble setting, just cabins, and we do our Sufi practice in a metal large room. There's beautiful veil dancing, traditional
Yeah.
veil dancing.
Exercise, meditation, chanting, hiking in the mountain, music, and different type of dances we do. Many people come. We had 200 people last summer for 2 months.
Some people will come for the entire 2 months. They just rearrange their life so they can stay at the camp with.
And they leave perfect. Everything's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who was the lady who came for 6 months and she has that big transformation? 6 weeks only, and she had that big
6 weeks,
transformation.
yeah. Her name is Georgiana.
Georgiana.
Yeah.
And what was she like when she
She
came?
lost 35 pounds, and she were very negative, and exactly couldn't do anything. And in 6 weeks it transformed.
She looks so joyful at
Yeah,
the end.
sure.
And I know when I was there, people were so calm. Everybody got along. There was very little talking because there was very little need to talk. Like the
Exactly,
ego
yeah.
doesn't really have any business hanging around Sufi because
The
it just
work could destroy the ego in people
yeah.
as much as possible.
Yeah. There were people doing creative things
Yeah.
and writing and just,
Painting, writing, drawing, and taking pictures, and for all the beautiful view there,
yeah.
the mountain.
I think we really kind of unfold like a flower and
Yeah.
our inner beauty gets experienced.
And the weather is dry, no humidity. Mm-hmm. What people enjoy very much.
And people are sleeping in little cabins or tents or even the dormitory.
Yeah, many places where they sleep.
The meals are simple. One meal a day.
One about 4 o'clock, and we do not cook with oil. We put oil, olive oil on the salad only. Mm-hmm. And people don't feel to eat much because there is a way to get the people, instead of nutrition from food, to cosmic nutrition.
Cosmic nutrition.
That is the Sufi do that,
Yeah.
and through the time, and people feel much better by eating less and less food.
A lot of people lose weight when they come up to you.
I have one woman lost 50 pounds in 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
And addiction seemed to just vanish.
All addiction, smoking, drinking, drug, sugar, disappear in 1 week, and just weekend.
Why? How does that work?
Bringing the people to the Spirit, and when they feel the Spirit, they do not need to do. When the people empty and shallow and negative, they want to do something to feel better.
To fill that emptiness.
They drink liquor, wine, and enjoy what they're doing with drug. There's a verse in the Quran said, "Kulu washrabu wala tusrafu." Eat and drink, but do not be extravagant, else my wrath will fall on you. And if my wrath fall on you, you will fall down.
So when people had to do too much drugs and drinking, they destroy themselves, and it's like they're destroying the nature within.
In America, they abuse the food. The food in the market is not healthy.
Yeah, a lot of chemicals.
It's chemical.
Yep.
And then the people eat a lot. Cookies and candy and sugar is the cause of all the diseases. All the problem come from sugar.
So if we could...
If people stop the sugar, their health come back to them.
But it's an addiction for Americans.
Well, in my work, people quit coffee and sugar and anything sweet for good. They don't touch it anymore. And there is a way to do it, yeah. But they have to work on it and make it happen.
In a way, it's the Sufi practice seems to meet all of our needs, like our needs are met, and then we don't have this seeking and searching and anxiety and...
Exactly. The word Sufi, it means purity.
Yeah.
If you purify the mind, the body, the psychic, the emotion, you will be a complete person. You change. And the life becomes beautiful.
You were telling me a story the other day about a duck. Can you tell that story again?
There is a figure in Nasruddin with the Sufi. They use it for stories. And one time he's in the house, somebody knocked the door. They say, "Who is it?" Say, "Your cousin, come from the country, bring him to you, fat, juicy duck."
A duck.
A duck. So I say, "Come on in." So they cooked the duck and ate it, and he left. The day after, another person knocked the door. He said, "Who is it?" Say, "The friend of your cousin." Say, "Come on in." Whatever left, the skin and the little things, bones, and make soup. And he left. Another day, somebody knocked the door. He said, "Who is it?" "The friend of your cousin." And another day, the friend of the friend of the friend of your cousin. So by the end, nothing much left. He gave whatever left to the cat. And so he heat water, put it in a bowl, and put a spoon, and give it to him.
The friend of the friend of the friend
Yeah.
of the friend.
He tried to taste it. So what kind of soup is that? He said, "The soup of the soup of the soup of the duck." And that is what happens usually to all organizations, system, religion, because the religion in the time of Jesus and Moses and Abraham or Muhammad was different. It's not what come in time and regress little by little.
So we're getting diluted versions of
Exactly. Yeah.
different spiritual practices that were more in depth.
All the prophet concerned with action to make things happen. There is no knowledge without action. Action bring the knowledge, make it profitable and usable through the blessing of action. The action and the knowledge inseparable. It's like the light of the sun and the sun itself. You cannot separate
So you
it.
can't separate the sun from the sunlight. You
Exactly.
can't separate the knowledge from the action.
If you separate it, you end it with academic knowledge.
Academic knowledge,
Yeah.
which is no.
What they study in college, in organization, in churches, is all in the head. But the Sufi are yet to go to the heart, and the knowledge of the heart is the most powerful, the intelligence of the heart. When you get the intelligence of the heart, you do not need the intellect in the head,
So it's
because
through
that is the power.
it's through action
Yeah.
that we can become knowledgeable of what it is. And I know Sufi practices a lot of
You
experiential.
go through inner experience.
Yeah.
There is experiment and there is experience. Experiment in the head, experience in the heart, where you become part of what you're doing. In the head, like you are in chemistry lab, physics lab, and you watch from the outside what's happening, but you are not really involving in it.
So when you're playing the drum, or when we're chanting one of the names of God, or when we're moving through the fluid exercising, when we're dancing with the veils, these are all actions that we're participating in.
Chanting is new in the West. People are unaware of it.
No.
But it is in the Middle East very big. In the time of Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, Abraham, the chanting very, very important and very effective. And now, just starting in America and the West to see what do to them by doing it. And it is very powerful.
I have a question for you. Today in the world, there's a lot of tension. People are feeling afraid. The political landscape is questionable. I think people are just feeling scared about the future, about people controlling other people, about systems breaking down, school, banking system, just people really, the family unit's not together anymore. It's so typical for a mom and a dad to be divorced and a child living off of a backpack. What's happening?
Well, all of that because of missing the power of a spirit. If they have the spirit, nothing will go wrong. The family will be together, the husband, the wife, the children will be one unit, and they enjoy it to be together. Because when there is no spirit, there is emptiness and boredom, unhappiness, misery, and they don't connect with these things. So I think America have to come back to the spirit, and then things will be better and better.
So when I think a few years ago, the churches, like people aren't going to church as much as they used to when I was a child. There's not a sense of community. Everybody's working so hard. We're chasing the dollar. We're trying to manage everything, and there's a lot of stress. So when you're saying go back to the spirit, if people were doing more of their spiritual practice, whatever that is, that would be a way to bring them back? Or do you think
There is a sign happening now in America. A lot of people, some time ago when you say the word yoga, they say yogurt.
When you say yoga, everyone
Yoga.
was like, yogurt?
Yeah, they think
Okay.
it's yogurt. But now it's spreading very much. A lot of people looking for a spirit all over America. Younger, and then some of the older also looking for it.
Going back.
Because there is no accomplishment in material and technology. The more development in technology and material, the weaker and the sicker people will be. Yeah. In the time when they were riding horses, they were healthy.
Yes.
The thighs are strong, the back strong, the tummy strong, the mind strong, and was fabulous. But now when people don't move, don't walk in the car, you lift up the window by pushing a button.
Right.
I mean, it's getting too much. Before people used to wash the cloth with their hand.
Yes.
Now is machine, wash the dishes and have coffee and cigarette and sit and talk and telephone forever, and it's big differences.
Yeah.
It's one way that you cure any problem with the fingers by washing cloth.
So when people have arthritis and they have a lot of that
If they
carpal
wash a
tunnel.
cloth, it come back normal.
Ah.
Exactly. But that is nobody know. They go to the doctor, get shot and pills, and it does not work. The washing cloth is fantastic. And there is a lot of exercises to work with the fingers, to work with the hand and the fingers that I use in my work a lot.
But we're kind of a lazy nation now. We don't even want to. I mean, who washes their clothes by hand? Nobody.
Yeah, but if you want to cure
The
hand,
arthritis and the. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And if they use washing the cloth and sitting on the floor with a big pan, that is the best way because it affects the tummy completely and the thigh. It change completely. But here everything machine, put the button and sit there. And then they get worse and worse.
Right.
They don't get any better.
We're kind of moving in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to begin a spiritual practice, maybe coming to some kind of Sufi thing, you're a rare person because you're traveling all the time.
I am in the summer, 2 months I teach every day, and extension 1 month. And we have people come from all over the world. 35 nationality we had in summer.
Yeah, when I was there last time, I couldn't believe I'd say, hello, how are you? And then, what country are you from? And they would give me a different answer.
Yeah.
And lovely people, so kind, gentle.
Europe and America the same. They also looking for a spiritual work in there because they went very heavy on the drug
Yeah,
in there in Europe.
yeah.
Yeah, and many people come on my work completely finished with the drug and liquor. الخمر والميسر رجس من عمل الشيطان. Wine and gambling is a string of the devil work. Avoid it and your life will be beautiful in the Quran. And it's true. When people drink, they go crazy. A person drink, go in the car, say, you cannot do that. No, I am very good. And then he drive and hit another car.
Yeah,
Kill bunch of people.
yeah,
It's no good.
yeah.
Jesus never touched wine. And here they say Jesus drink, they have to drink. What he did, he changed the energy of the water. When the people drink it, they become very drunk from it. And it's not liquor, but the power of Jesus changed the people.
Well, in Sufi, it's almost like I feel altered, I feel elevated, I feel high,
Yeah.
I feel drunk in a way, but in a natural way, in a delicious
That is
way.
a wine is called cosmic wine. It is come from energy and strength and power. And when the people get in it, they experience the meaning of peace and the meaning of the moment. And that is not exist in the West. No one have an idea about how to be in the moment. They talk about it in the radio and the newspaper, but to experience it is not exist because there is certain method to follow and to open the moment. And it is unbelievable what power you get from it. Yeah. And you feel the spirit, part of you. Yeah.
It's like
Not by talking, the preaching and talking about spirit.
that's all head stuff.
That does not work. Words will do nothing. It's the action
Action,
what make it happen.
action.
Yeah.
Great. Is there anything else you want to share with our visitors,
Well,
our viewers?
people have to think, you know, you you only learn by yourself. Yeah. It have to come from within, the idea of learning. Uh, if you don't guard your intellect with your intellect, from your intellect, you will be destroyed by the intellect.
Oh my goodness.
So what it means, watch the thought in your head. If a thought come negative, switch quick. Don't follow it. And that's what it takes. Yeah. And it's a matter of practice. You practice. And people have habit of coffee and sugar, but there is a way how to quit, and you never remember it again. Finish.
Once it's out, it's out.
That's what I do in my work. I have people come, completely stop all the habit in short time, sometime in a weekend.
Yeah, because it's an obsession that kind of goes on and it takes over within the person. But in this work, it's a very cleansing, almost destroying negative energy that's inside of us.
There is two kind of people in the world. One, religious people, but no mind. The other, mind, but no religion. The only power, the only God that you have is your mind. That is what leads you to higher and better.
But not the intellect. The mind and the intellect are two different
And
things.
the people two kind. One is a creature of desire and habit, and the other creature of spirit, and that is smaller number. And that is, if you follow that, you rise up higher and higher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your gift with us and your knowledge.
It was very enjoyable,
Thank you.
and I enjoy every minute.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I notice you enjoy, no matter what's happening, you seem to be at peace. You're okay with things.
That is the only way.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Why worry? Why have negative thought? Why have tension? Why have problem? How long you live? You know, you use the time, and don't let the time to use you.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You use the time, God will come on your side. You let the time use you, the devil come with you, lead you.
Mm-hmm. And the devil's basically negative thinking. It's not a person who's talking in my ear.
The devil headquarter in the brain of people when they are negative.
Ah.
Exactly. Control everything.
Okay. Now we found him. Thank you so much, Adnan.
Sure. You're very welcome.
This is Ursula Lentini with The Way of the Spiritual Path. And thank you, Adnan, so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.